Hi, I'm the owner and developer of Synix. I wanted to showcase the Synix control panel to make it easier for everyone to be able to host their own game server and cut ties from paid hosting. So I developed this program to allow you to do that with just point and click. So let's get into it. This video, I did have a video before. The quality was more poor. So this is a new one updated so you could see more detail. Um, so let's install a server. I'm gonna do two games. Um, one is gonna be Soul Mask and the other one will be Icarus. So because every server is different on how they set up, you can see there's tons of games. I kind of lost count. I think it's like over 250. Um, so I'm gonna do multiple, and let's see, where is it? Icarus. We can pick a map. This you don't have to worry about. Default location. This is where all Synix's data and saved games and backups. They're all. It's a default one. You can browse and do your own. This does have, depending on the servers, if they need the passwords and stuff like that, you can change the ports and uh, auto restart. You can schedule which days. Simple, you just click. Um, Update on startup, backup on start. You can even get Discord alerts if you got the webhook. I'm trying to do a little bit quick here because the last video was like almost an hour long. So everything here has everything you need. I know there's going to be a couple more things I got to add to here, especially for Rust, where Rust you can choose like map size. I still got to add that, but that's the only thing I can think of. I cannot test every single game in this list because I don't own them. Um, so I still do need help with the community, whoever wants to help figure out if they work, what needs to be fixed, stuff like that. So I'm also going to show you, you can download multiple games at once. So say, and you can type in the thing and it'll automatically bring it up. And then there's also a port checker to make sure you're not conflicting with ports, stuff like that. But since this does need password, because normally this would be locked if it didn't require it. Excuse me. Default, because I don't want to browse and show any personal information or anything. All right, so we're gonna do the new DLC. All the games are hard coded. That's why there's a list. There's no plugins. No one can add into it. You don't got to worry about malicious code from a plugin or nothing like that. So I have to install, or well, not install, but I have to hard code every game, arguments, everything. So it's very safe. Your IPs do show up here. I have it hidden right now due to video. Keep it private. But you can click on them. It will copy to your Windows clipboard, so you can paste it anywhere. Um, And this does also, when the servers are running, you can do connection tests, like your LAN test, meaning you can test your LAN between your computer, the router, and then back to your computer to see if your firewall is blocking. Um, the public test is your actual IP address on the internet. It basically shoots out of the out to the internet and then back in to see if it can connect to your server to make sure that it's actually seen and connectable. Alright, so we're still installing. One game is almost done. It's at 82%. But some games, like Icarus, they do have a in-game game man or server manager that you have to use to finish the installation and running for the server. I will show you that in Icarus. Some games will require you have to go and edit the config file before you can actually like get your server 100% working. That's something Synix cannot do because you have to do that with your own personal information. But every other game like Soul Mask and stuff like that, you don't have to do none of that. It just depending on the game. So depending on the game, you can just go into edit server, stuff like this. The thing is, when you install a server, you cannot change the folder location. It doesn't matter if you use browse or default. I do that just so it's a protection on your end, so you do not corrupt any of your server files or anything like that. From like transferring from one location to another and screwing up the database. And so that's why it's locked. But it is editable if you go into Synix's database that stores how this information is stored and change the path of the installation, and that's it. So all right, so we do have Icarus done. The other one's still installing. So what we're gonna do is start up Icarus. You can see here it is running. It is going. So let me fire this up. I hope I'm on the right screen. Yeah. Okay. I know I don't do this. Don't know nothing about video, and so this is all new to me. I'm more of a live streamer than anything. But all right, let me switch screens here for you to show you that I'm going into the game. This is demo for, well, it's not a game demo, it's just a demo of me showing you how you do it on Icarus. So that way, if you ever want to install Icarus, you can know how to do it. Icarus is a little bit more different, where, say, Satisfactory, they have a game manager as well, our server manager. That's right on the main menu and a lot more easier to use, but Icarus is totally different. This is still in beta. Okay, so what we're gonna do is go to LAN. We're gonna go here. Like, I know you've seen it in this list right here, but it won't let you do anything. You can click on it, it'll kick you right back out. So you have to go through LAN. And Soul Master's also done installing. All right, open world. Pick your map. Technically on the panel, it is a bug. Picking a map from there, it doesn't make any difference because it's done in here. All right, hit confirm. Click new world. We'll just say testing or test video. Alright. Now we hit claim. And then claim. You do have to go in this game. You have to go into the world to get the server to actually fully save. But like I said, some servers are different. Some you do this, some you don't. It all depends on the server, the way they developed them. But normally to run a server like this, you have to download Steam CMD, run commands in command prompt, and then you got to know arguments to also pass on to the server. So there is a long process to install game servers on a normal computer. I made it simple for you because I do this with friends that we play video games. Icarus is one of them. So you can see I'm landing. This is connecting through the LAN, meaning I'm going from computer to my router and then router back in to my computer. So that's not what you want to see. Well, for you guys. This is to show you that you could still connect to through the internet. So now we have the LAN done, the setup. So now we can go back into here. We're under internet. We go here. This is ours. Because if we go back to this, you can see it's right here. And of course, yours is going to be at the top usually because it's the lowest ping. So now we just go back, join, and then this will show you guys it is through the internet. It's not through LAN. The thing is, when you do servers, you also got to do port forwarding on your router. I know how to do it, but there's other tutorials that are much better at it than I am that you can look up on YouTube to figure out how to do that if you don't know how. But after that, Synix does all the hard work for you. No commands, no arguments, no Steam CMD you got to worry about. It does it all for you. Alright, so you can see I'm landing. I am in the server. I'm going to prove it. This does have a player count, so it will tell you if you are in a server. So I'm in a server, and the other thing I haven't showed you is this does have a this is the total overall of all your servers that are running, not your overall for, hold on, let me change screens. All right, let me switch this back over. All right, so this does have a overall graph showing all running servers that are running. It only calculates these. It will not tell you what your computer's using on everything on your computer. So I can click on this since I had it on the back behind here. So it will tell you, like, I do have actually 98 gigs on my system, but it subtracts like 7 gigs, and then there's a safe margin on that as well with 80% usage. So anything that's like 80%, if with all your running servers, if it hits it, it won't let you start another server to safeguard your computer. So it'll tell you everything, the same thing you're going to see in Task Manager. It's just you can't kill the process from here. All right, so I am going to now do Soul Mask. So you can see I do have Icarus still playing. And here's the server. So what we're going to do is minimize that. Now this one is Soul Mask. You can tell because it says Soul Mask. So now it's running. Now the way the status works is it says it's starting. What it does is it actually sends a signal through your public IP out to the internet and then back in to see if the server's connected. And if it connects, then it'll say it's running. Even though it may allow, the server may allow the connection, but it might be still like loading on startup. There's no way I can like determine the server is fully 100% up and running to allow users to join. So while that's going, let's actually go find the game for you to show you that it is working. And your game will be listed. And I got too many games. Where is it? Alright, we're just gonna search it. Because I got too many games. So it says it's running, but no, it's still loading because I could tell by that line. All right, so the other things on here is you can also, so it says it's running. So if I do a public test it'll say it's actually your IP will show here and here. Um, that it is going out to the internet and back in. Seeing that the server's receiving the connection, but the players still can't connect until this is done. But you can see the graph is growing. Um, and then you can see your things. And then, like I said, there's a bunch of other things on here. This is all like whatever server you select, you get all this. Um, from opening config files, if you gotta configure a file, open the server folder if you got mods that you gotta put in. Synix doesn't do mods. You have to do that because every game, the way they do mods are totally different. Um, Backup files where they're located, it'll open a file for you, or the folder actually. The same with this one. Edit server, you already know. The same with the config. Update server, validate, game validate. Um, Backup server, that's exactly what they say they do. These two right here, update server and validate, basically make sure the server's up to date and the files are validated. Connection, public test, local test, just like it does. It helps you determine if the server is being blocked from your router or firewall. And then delete server. And then if you click on one of the servers at the top in the list, you double click, you actually get all the information that you use that you installed the server. So now SoulMask is actually running or done. So now we're just waiting on the game to start up. So let me switch. Um, SoulMask has an audio bug in their intro video, and this is a little long. I wish they would give you a skip button. But while we're waiting, I can explain anything else. So it also does a version check. All the versions they are released on GitHub. When you get this Synix control panel, it doesn't have a code signing certificate, meaning you got to be a business. You um, got to pay a bunch of money yearly to get a certificate. Sorry about the audio with the game. Their audio, I don't know, it's something with like recording or something that just does it, or they just screwed something up. Um, but when you open it, you may get a warning from Windows. This will never ask you for admin. It'll never ask you for anything. It won't scan your computer for anything besides what is only required for this servers. It doesn't even do open firewall. Nothing. That's all game. So then what we're going to do is go to private. Now, we already know what our thing is. It's right here. Yeah, mine has a star. Even if I take that off, it still shows up. So all I got to do is click, double click actually, test. Now hopefully it doesn't throw me out. Because one of my testing for this was it failed on the connection for some reason. I had to restart the server. And that was all the problem was. So while that's loading, so you could see there's also a help guide. It pretty much, I'm gonna keep adding more and more to this. I'm gonna probably need help to also do this because there's a lot that Synix does that you can't even see. So that's helpful for everyone. It does say how long they've been up. I do have Synix running on another computer in another state, and as long as he has internet, the game that he has running on it, it has not gone down at all, not once. He's got 100% uptime with his running on computer that's running Windows. Okay, you can see I'm in the game to create to make a character and stuff like that. So I am connected to the server, and you actually seen it says 1 of 10. You can adjust this to be whatever you want. Um, so if you got a Rust server that's 1,000 people, you can do that. Now there is a thing with the Rust servers. Their server list is horrible to get on it. So what I'm going to do now is back out of this, switch back over, and bring this back up, and drag this back over here. So I'm trying to keep this quick, and because I don't want another 40-minute video. So, everything is printed out. You can see from the arguments that are used. This is what you would use to, if you had to do a batch file and stuff like that, you would have to do all this. Synix is already doing it, and it's also showing you what the arguments that are used. So just so you can see for yourself, nothing malicious is being done. You're 100% safe with it. You don't have to worry about anything. I know there are other control panels that do plugins and community-based plugins where someone can slip a code in to get into your computer. Buy those. So that's why the Synix is all hard-coded. Never have to worry about that. So everything else is like, even while this is running, I can install another server if I want. As long as you got the RAM and a CPU, it'll let you. You can do as many as you want. It's only based on CPU and RAM. So we're gonna stop this one. We're gonna stop this one. And like I said, there is a database file. It's a JSON file that all servers are saved on. So you can fill this whole list and have as many servers as you want. You can have them on, you can have them off, stuff like that. Discord alerts, like you see in here, you can activate it. Just create a webhook from your Discord server, add it here, and then you can also test it, and it'll send a test message to your channel that you set it to. So everything is simple for you. It's point click. Same with the schedule. This will automatically restart your server. So say I want to restart the server Mondays, Wednesday, Friday, and then we want noon. So we'll do 12. Then I hit save. And then if I have this on and this will fire. And then it'll start doing backup and then update before the server actually goes back up. If the server ever crashes, actually I can show you that real quick. Which one was quicker? I think that one. So I'm going to show you how it works on crashes before I end this video, because it is like 23 minutes now. So it does restart the servers. It will send an alert to your Discord if you have it set up. And what else does it do? Oh, and I did add in a feature that I don't know how many other control panels do. I added a DDoS or DDoS a detection. Yeah, Synix will not block. It cannot do nothing to help you prevent it, but it can warn you. It will pop up and warn you that a DDoS attack is being done. So that way you can prepare and figure out how to stop it. The easiest way to stop a DDoS attack, just go in your router, turn off port forwarding, and then it can't communicate to the computer. But you also lose connection to your servers from the internet. But if you have better other ways of protecting yourself from it, that's great. But other than that, that's the easiest and quickest way you can pretty much shut down a DDoS attack. Um, for that. But a window will pop up and saying, "Hey, there's a DDoS attack being happening. Uh, need to take measures and stuff like that to stop it." But it does detect it. There'll be more features added later on. Because this is, believe it or not, this is only like 2 weeks of work, and that it's been a project and actually a thing that I wanted to do for a long time, since I'm the only one that knows how to do batch files and running servers with my friends. So this just made it a lot easier for me. So I don't have to create batch files because it's a pain in the butt. And then you also got to look up all the arguments and stuff. So when a new version does go out, this will change. This will update. This will actually have a download button going right to GitHub's page where this is. So it's easy to download. Now the cool thing is also, before I end this video, the next like maybe 5 minutes, not even, you if you don't want to see this, you don't have to. So we're gonna minimize this because you gotta have this open, but we don't have to have this open. You can close it, and it's not running in the background at all. It's completely closed. And then if I reopen it, it still knows exactly everything from player counts, uptime, and the status, stuff like that. It still knows. All right, so let me show you how to crash work. So I'm going to crash the server myself. I'm going to close it. So you'll see Watchdog pop up. Oh, don't be telling me you're starting to screw up again. Yeah, it double looped, but it didn't double loop on start. Yeah, that's the only bug right now that I'm facing. Everything else is like 100%. Watchdog does work. It's just double uh this. This doesn't restart um on crashes. I have to okay, we'll call it another bug. But yeah, that's just another thing. But this did fire. You can see the server did pop back up, started trying to load back up. The alerts will go to the Discord telling you that server was manually shut down, server was crashed or started. And then if you do started, it'll say starting here. It'll also say starting in Discord. And then when it can get a connection to the server to change to starting to running, that message will also go to Discord and saying the server's up and running and connect, and you can connect. So if you want to let your community know about your server, there you go. Quick and easy. Sorry about trying to rush all this, but it's just Synix does have a lot into it. It's just a lot of it's in a back end. And trying to talk about it, I could be here for probably about hours. From the safeguards to protect you and your computer to crashes. I'm like, there's a lot to it. I tried to make it as easy as I can, friendly as I can to people. That it's just basically point and click on everything. I know there's better web control panels out there for game servers, but then there's also a lot of things you may have to do with those control panels to get your game server to work. I basically just took it and flipped it around and said, "There's no need to do plugins and extra steps just to start a server. The only step you have to do with Synix is you got to open the port on the router. You have to do port forwarding. That is it. When you start the game server, it'll automatically come up on Windows saying the game server wants to actually put a rule in your firewall to allow it to connect to the internet. Synix doesn't do that. The game does that, or the game server. So Um, that's all on that end. Synix uses a very little. It's lightweight. There's no insulation, nothing like that. And you can see from here. Here's Synix. Look at. I'm not barely using. The only time this CPU ever goes up is if I'm doing a backup. That is it. And the only thing I'm not going to show you on here is a backup because it can actually take, depending on how big the server is, it can take a few minutes to actually do that. And then on my CPU, it'll go to like 4% on backup. So that's about it. But I do have other backups from testing that I can show you real quick. So backup files. So this is where it would be, but the folder's already here. So if I go back to backup games, I do have. So when you delete a server, it doesn't delete the backups. So what it does, it copies the whole server. It's not going in to say, okay, I want to save this. And then if there's a save file, save that. It's not doing that. It's not nitpicking. You can literally take this and make a batch file and put it on another computer and run that batch file, and then this will run. That's it. But it only saves 3 copies. That's it. It won't go to 4. It won't go to 5 because some of these games can be a lot of storage it needs. So that's why I only did 3 per game. But Synix is very easy. It's like Steam CMD is already put in your computer. This is where all the games are, game servers are stored. So every game will be in here. So if I went to Soul Mask, so you can see mine's right here. If I open it, there it is. All right. Backups. Everything is in a C drive. It's not in programs. It's not in any of that system files. Synix will never ask to go into those. It will never ask for admin privileges. It is literally non-admin, you could say. It does not go into nothing. It doesn't monitor your computer. It does not do none of that. It doesn't need to. If it's not a game server, it doesn't need to monitor whatever's going on your computer. All right, let's close this real quick. Let's shut the anything else left in here. Like I said, double click. There's all your info. Because if the server's running, you can't. I made a file safe, so you can't even go and edit the server while it's running. You can edit the config file if there is one. So, like if I go to here and here, I did make a config control panel that you can edit. Let's close that. Close this. Shut down. Restart. It does work. Everything you see is works. I tried to make it as so there's no bloat on this, meaning button here, button here, button here, button here, button here, button. Graph here, graph here. No, I tried to keep everything so like as clean as I possibly can and still have all the functions and the features that you can have, where everything is under one menu for that server. The only thing is like some panels will have like, oh, you can have a start button here and our start button here or config button here or edit settings here. I didn't do that. All you got to do is just click on one of these. You always know which one because of the arrow. So like if I go to Icarus, I can go to server settings, doop, and then I can edit as long as the server's off. I can go, okay, I want this, 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 this. Whatever is not used for that, based on a game that you picked, these will be locked where you can't edit them. Like app port, max players, Archon, server admin, and server password. The other thing is in here you might have seen is you can if you're a more advanced person, you do know the game's arguments, you can actually add extra ones to be ran while the game is starting up. It will combine the default ones with yours, and you can also view what the default uh, arguments are uh, for transparency. Everything I do is transparent. Um, I do not hide nothing from no one. I will tell you, even if there was a bug in here and you seen with the watchdog, it kind of did have a bug. I will show you. But on that note, this is already getting long enough. This is 35 minutes. Is there anything else I can think of? Not really. I can show you, like, delete does delete. So I go to delete. They'll give you a warning. Delete. Now it's gone. When you delete, whatever's in that folder will be gone unless you have a backup. If you don't have a backup, you are out of luck. So always have do a backup before you delete. You can go to here and then backup server, and then go to delete, and then that way you'll still have a copy no matter what of that whole server. Everything else is like easy, like open server folder. Like if you have mods, it'll open right to the folder that it's installed in. Add your mods. Synix doesn't do that for you. Sorry. Maybe later on in the future, after I put in a bunch more features and safeguards for everyone, to keep you happy with what you're getting. But I hope this helps you understand what Synix is. I hope you enjoy the program. It is a passion. It is a hobby for me. I'm the only developer for this. For being only 2 weeks in development, it's not bad. And it's 100% working. I use it. I got it on another computer right now in Texas that we use that's actually running a game server. Don't have any problems. None. Zero. Zip. And then, like I said, when new versions come out, you'll get a warning. It'll say new version's out, and it'll give you the download button, and it takes you right to GitHub. So you already know GitHub is safe, and you can actually see the whole codes and files that create Synix. So you can literally, if you know coding, you can actually scan through it and then see that there is nothing hidden in the code at all. All of it is shown. There's no encryption, none of that stuff. I know how people are, especially with hackers and scammers, when they develop programs. They'll hide encrypted code into their stuff. But I hope you enjoy the whole program. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment down below of features that you might be interested if you want to use Synix. What can be improved? Criticism. You could talk crap to me. I really don't care, and I will read them. Nothing gets to me. I am transparent. I will tell you things. You can join my Discord. The link is in the description down below. The link for the GitHub to download Synix is also going to be down in the description. So it's easy for you to get to. But the only thing like I said, if you are still watching right now on 40 minutes, is when you start it on the first time, when you start it on your computer, you will get a warning from Windows because it's not a code signing certificate on it. I'm a solo developer. I can't get one, no matter how hard, unless I start out my own business. And I already had that business running for so many years, and then on top of that, I got to spend hundreds of dollars a year just to get a certificate to allow Windows to not pop up a warning. That's it. Other than that, 100% safe, 100% working. But leave a comment down below. Click the like button, subscribe. I will post more videos. This is one was more about um, demonstrating it and also talking about it, how it works, stuff like that. I will try to make more videos on other things that are going to be shorter, from install to edit, to, like different things, depending if people are having problems or something. But I don't see people having problems with this. This is also, I forgot to tell you, is only Windows based. It's not Linux. It won't work on it. It's not Apple. It won't work on it. It's only for Windows. Everyone knows how notorious Windows is when it comes to this stuff. But on that note, thank you for watching and see you next time.